Hey everyone, welcome back. You know those books everyone's always talking about for building wealth? We're diving into those today. You know the ones like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Millionaire, Fastlane, oh, and of course, The Richest Man in Babylon. It's like,
Mhm.
how do you even choose which one to start with?
It's true. There are so many different takes on building wealth. And these three, yeah, they're definitely classics for a reason. People keep coming back to them. It's like they all tap into this drive we have to, really take control of our money.
Exactly. And I think Rich Dad, Poor Dad is the one that probably pops into most people's minds first. I mean, two dads with completely opposite views about money. One's all about playing it safe, and the other, he's all about building an empire. Makes you think, right?
It really does. Kiyosaki had a knack for, taking all those financial terms and making them actually relatable. Like he tells a story and you get pulled in. You're not just reading about assets, you're seeing how two different mindsets actually play out in real life. Totally. And suddenly, things you used to think were totally normal, like paying rent. It's like, wait a minute, that's actually building my landlord's wealth, not mine.
I have to say, though, I kind of wish he'd given more concrete advice beyond just buy real estate.
I'm with you there. It's like diversification is key. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Right? Even if it's a real estate basket, things can happen.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Okay, so ready to shift gears a bit. Let's talk The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. This one's all about ditching that whole slow and steady approach and hitting the gas on your path to wealth.
Oh, DeMarco, he's got that energy, doesn't he? He really gets people fired up to build a business, become an entrepreneur. It's not just about speed, though. He emphasizes finding a business model that's actually creating something people want, something valuable. Like, think about insert example of a successful entrepreneur relevant to the listener. They didn't just get lucky, they saw a need and filled it. Totally. And when you can find that sweet spot, right, what you're passionate about lines up with what people will actually pay for. That's where the magic happens. But honestly, that whole get rich quick vibe can be a bit misleading, even if it's not intentional. Building a business takes work and resilience. And, understanding the basics of managing money doesn't hurt either. You can't just like jump in a sports car and expect to win a race without knowing how to drive.
Exactly. Entrepreneurship isn't a shortcut, but it does have huge potential. You need that solid foundation. Speaking of foundations, that kind of brings us to our final book for this deep dive, The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason.
Right. Talk about a complete 180. We've gone from the fast lane to ancient wisdom. It's pretty amazing, though, how relevant this book still is, even though it's full of parables and stories from like ancient Babylon. Just goes to show some things about money. They're timeless.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The way Clason lays it out, it's all about those core principles. Living below your means, saving consistently, making smart investments. It's like he uses this simple language, these stories that just click. Like the one about Arcad, the guy who starts as a simple scribe and becomes the richest guy in Babylon. All because he followed those principles.
It makes you think, right? Like, what would those Babylonian guys say about all our modern money stuff? Credit cards, crypto, all that. Would they be totally freaking out, or would they be like, yeah, seen it all before?
Or I bet they'd be emphasizing those same principles.
Yeah.
It's all about taking control of your finances, no matter what century you're in. And that's something I really like about all these books, actually.
Me too. And Rich Dad, Poor Dad really nails that, with that whole emphasis on actually educating yourself about money. I mean, think about it. A lot of us, we didn't really learn this stuff in school, did we?
It's true. It's like they teach us algebra, but how to tell if an investment is any good, or like how compound interest really works for you, not so much.
Yeah.
But Kiyosaki's on it. He wants people to break free, not be stuck depending on someone else to handle their money.
Right. Who wants to be stuck in that rat race? Although, honestly, I wouldn't have minded a few more specifics on actually escaping it. Like, here are some actual steps you can take, that kind of thing.
I see what you're saying. The asset building thing is great, but he could have gotten more practical beyond just the real estate angle. And that's where I think the Millionaire Fastlane really shines. That focus on starting your own thing, creating something new.
Totally. DeMarco wants you to find that thing, right? The thing you're passionate about that also fills a need out there in the world. And it's not just about any business idea either. It's got to solve a real problem. I think he calls it finding your unfair advantage, that thing that makes you stand out.
Right. It's like, what are you naturally good at that other people maybe struggle with? That could be your golden ticket.
Yeah.
He's all about playing to your strengths.
Love that. And you know what? It actually reminds me of Klassen's book, too. In The Richest Man in Babylon, He's got this story, right?
Okay.
About a guy who borrows a bunch of money to start a business, but he's got no plan, no real experience. It's a cautionary tale. You got to have ambition, yeah, but you need knowledge too.
Totally. Going fast is great and all, but you need a solid foundation. You need to be saving, like Klassen says, but you got to seek out good advice too, and those investment decisions. Can't just jump into those blindly.
Right. It's like Klassen saying, slow your roll. Building wealth, it takes time. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
And another thing, debt. That can really trip you up. Klassen's got a whole parable about that. He compares debt to a heavyweight that just drags you down.
Oh man, tell me about it. Credit cards, online shopping, making it so easy to overspend. It's like that whole living below your means thing. It's harder than ever. And it circles back to what Kiyosaki was saying, too. You need that financial knowledge, that foundation, to navigate it all.
It all ties together, right?
Yeah.
You need to know how to handle debt so it doesn't bury you.
Yeah.
You need to be smart with investments. Otherwise, forget about that secure future.
It's like we're putting together a puzzle, you know? Taking these different pieces from each book to see the full picture.
I like that. And, it makes me think, what if we combine the absolute best parts of these books into one, ultimate guide? What would that even look like?
It'd be like the ultimate financial guide.
Exactly. Okay, so first, we definitely take that whole mindset shift from rich dad, poor dad, money. It's not just about getting it and spending. It's a tool. It's about building something that lasts, something that makes you more money. Passive income. That's the dream.
Totally. Like completely flipping the script, right? You're not working for your money, it's working for you.
Exactly. And to make that happen, we'd bring in that millionaire Fastlane energy. Think big, be an entrepreneur, but, with a little dose of reality, too. Find that problem you're fired up to solve. Build something awesome, something people actually want.
Yeah. And don't forget about those ancient Babylonian secrets. Savings got to be in there. It all adds up. And finding a mentor, someone who's been there, done that. So smart. And seriously, living below your means, avoiding debt. That's timeless advice right there.
Could have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Dream big, but be smart about it too. Take risks, but protect what you've built. It's about finding that sweet spot.
It's like all these books, even with their different styles, they fit together, Each one gives you a piece of the puzzle, and when you put them together, it's like a roadmap to building wealth.
Exactly. And the best part, you get to choose your own route, what works for you, what fits your life and your goals. That's what makes it so exciting.
So true. It's all about taking control, building your own financial future. And as we wrap up this deep dive, think about this. What's one thing you can do right now, inspired by what we've talked about, maybe actually make that budget you've been putting off? Or do some research on investing. Or, hey, even just jot down some business ideas.
You've got the power to change your financial life. Start small, be consistent, and never stop learning.
Couldn't agree more. Knowledge is power, but you gotta take action. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. Until next time, keep those financial goals in sight.